What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Alright, we're coming back to Dimmu Borgir. Yes, indeed, Dimmu Borgir fans, FEELIN, you, come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Ben Guevara, and Ben wanted to see me react to this song by Dimmu Borgir called Hybrid Stigmata. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hang on a second, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Dimmu Borgir. Hope I pronounced that right. Look, no one corrected me the last time I did a reaction to it, so I'm assuming I'm saying it right. And the video has 181,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hybrid Stigmata. That's all it says. I am just going to tell you right now, I'm going to have to redact this album cover. I already have one community guideline strike against me. One more, and the entire channel is terminated, and I am blocked from YouTube. So, yeah, I'm not taking any chances. Sorry. But I'm going to redact it, guys. It's just the album cover anyway. If you really want to know what the album cover looks like, the link to the original video is down below in the description. Click on that link and take a look at the album cover for yourself. But I'm not gonna make an uncensored version. I'm sorry. I just think that's ridiculous for an album cover. But at the same time, I'm not taking any chances with YouTube anymore. So yeah, one community guideline strike is enough. Yeah, anymore. And like I said, I'm done. So I'm just gonna redact this. You're looking at a black rectangle right now. Sorry, but that's how it's got to be. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Nice double pick there. That's double. Not sex double. feel. Okay. A fourth feel. Like the 6-8 feel. This song is all over the place. We've had 3 different changes within 4/4, but none of them conducive to the other, meaning it hasn't been straight time, half time, double time. It's been 4/4, but it's been actual tempo changes along with style and feel change. Like at the beginning, very much like if you were to define it as like a halftime feel, I guess you could do that, but very very straight, but really putting the emphasis on the drums in particular, coming out of each measure with that double kick pattern where they went into the 30-second notes. And then from there, still staying in that straight ahead 4/4 time, but going into more of like a, I don't want to say double time feel, but like by comparison, kind of no, it's actually about the same, but just at a faster tempo. And then the third change we went into, now that stylistically felt different. It did feel a little more like like a backbeat feel, with the snare on the 2 and the 4. Which felt nice, but again, a little, just a different tempo. Now, we still have the tempo again, but now we've changed to like a 6/8 feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can hear it in the snare. All I gotta do is follow the snare, and it will not lead you astray. They are changing a lot, but here's the thing. Look at the time. Look how much time has gone by. 3:27, right? 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And they've had 4 different changes, which means they are spending adequate time on each feel before they change to the next feel. It gives the listeners a chance to really get into the feel, really dive into it and really get into it. You know what I mean? So you can really get into the groove before they switch. I got no problem with that. That's fine. I got no issue with it ever. Now, if they were switching every 5 seconds, every 8 seconds, even every 10 seconds, I would be a little put off by that. Even if it was just sticking within these 4. You know, like every 5 to 10 seconds they switch, and then they switch, and then they switch, and then they switch. They go back again and switch and switch and switch. Unless there's an established pattern. Now, if there's an established pattern, we're going to do this, and then go to 2, then go to 3, then go to 4, go back to 1, back to 2, back to 3, back to 4, back to 1, back to 2, back to 3, back to 4. That's different. But if they're doing, we're going to do 1, go to 2, go to 3, go to 4, then back to 2, go to 4, back to 3, back to 2, back to 1, back to 4, back to 1, back to 3, back to 2, back to 4, back to 1, back to 2, back to 1, back to 4. If there's no rhyme or reason to it, that's when I really get upset. That will, seriously, that'll trigger me faster than anything. No pattern, no rhyme or reason. Yeah, forget it. No, they're giving us ample time to get into each groove before they switch up again. I'm fine with that. I believe it or not, I'm fine with it. The drumming, I'm going to be honest with you folks, the drumming is the highlight for me. It absolutely is. The drummer is putting on a showcase right now. Not that the guitars are doing anything wrong, not that the keyboards are doing anything wrong, not that the bass is doing anything wrong, not that the vocals are doing anything wrong. Everything sounds fine. But if you ask me who the star of the show is right now, I'm going to be honest with you, the drummer. The drummer is running away with the spotlight, and he's not letting anybody have it. He's not sharing with anyone, and I dig that. I do. The drummer is putting on a clinic right now, and I love that. Anyway, let's keep going here. Very welcome. Let's go. This 3 for quite a while now. And now we just switch to 4. Clean transition. Really clean transition. Going from that 6/8 to a straight ahead 4/4. No change in tempo. The tempo stayed the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and will actually be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of coming out of that 6/8 going into the straight 4/4, it felt nice, man. No change in tempo, just change in meter. That's it. I dig it. Not even meter, change in time signature, but the meter itself didn't actually change. Yeah, that felt nice. I almost missed it. It was that smooth. Really, really nicely done. The clean vocal, that was nice. Thank you. I wish we could have more of it. I really do, because the clean vocals are really nice. I wish we could have more of it, but I'll take what I can get. It helps. It all helps. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review.
Angels and demons, among smells the wildering hole. Another beauty.
Back, this is the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Its contents with the strength of the spiritual. Spirits of the token, the chain and the ring. We come from the philanthropic, macabre frenzy. The pale vocalins, like God's heart, and let it so free.
ending with the strings. Actually, that's a nice approach. Not the most powerful approach, but definitely it definitely made sense. Because the strings were pretty prominent through the whole song, so yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I need to think about this one. It's not so much I need to think about what happened. I need to think about how I'm going to explain it to keep everything in perspective. That's what I got to figure out. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Dimmu Borgir with Hybrid Stigmata. This was a request from Ben Guevara. Okay. Here comes the fun part. Before I get my score, a couple of things I need to talk about. Number one, we are going back to the old scoring system. Okay, so we are going back to the scale of 1 to 10, or to be more realistic, 0.0 to 9.9. We are going back to that scoring system. Now, having said that, when I did my live stream talking about ideas for how we're gonna what we're gonna do about the scoring system, the biggest complaint that people had about doing a 5-star system was there was a lot of repetition. A lot of bands and a lot of songs are gonna be getting a lot of 4 stars, and I see that. I absolutely do see that problem. But here's the thing, folks. We had the exact same problem with the old scoring system. Okay, maybe not the exact score. Not like we had a ton of 7.8s, although we did, but we had the same problem as far as there was this gap. There was this scores of 7.4 to 8.6. 2/3 of the songs on the channel got a score somewhere between a 7.4 to an 8.6. Okay, that's a lot of songs getting the exact same area, which would have been about what a 4-star would have been. So the same problem would have existed. So I was like, okay, well, if we're gonna go back to the old scoring system, I have no problem doing it. I have zero problem going back to the old scoring system. But if we do go back to the old scoring system, I'm gonna have to get a lot tougher. And I said this during the live stream. I'm gonna have to get a lot tougher. It's gonna be a lot harder to get those higher scores. Okay, so please keep that in mind. That I am definitely getting tougher on the scoring. Number two, I'm gonna have to spend a good amount of time explaining the old scoring system to the new people, so that I'll hopefully alienate less people, and it'll become more acceptable because I'm going to explain this in 4 different ways. I have to explain it from the standpoint of the actual numeric score, the scale of what that score would be, give it also a star rating, and then also give it a letter grade. So I promise you, I will do that, but it's going to take a little time. All right, so I'm explaining this in every single video for the next month or two, so hopefully everybody will catch on. So, having said all of that, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.2. Yep, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
So what is an 8.2? An 8.2 is quite literally a great score, okay? An 8.2 would translate to a letter score of about an A-, and it would translate to a 4-star rating, but a high 4-star rating. So you have a 4-star rating, you have a letter grade of an A-, you have a great score, and it's an 8.2. All right, so hopefully everybody can comprehend at least one of those. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully that will eliminate a lot of the hate of, oh, you gave it too low of a score. It's too low. And it's not. It's right where it needs to be, I promise. Okay. Now, how do we get to that score? It really came down to 2 things. The songwriting. Okay, here we go. The whole, so now you know what, I'm gonna say that. Let's start with the musicianship, okay? Musically, from a musicianship standpoint, everybody did a fine job. Fine job. I got absolutely no problem with anything I heard. From the guitars, from the keyboards, from the vocals. Everybody sounded fine. I had no issue with anything that was played. I didn't hear anything that was dirty. I didn't hear anything that sounded out of place. Everything was mixed well. The tonality of everything sounded just fine. Guitar sounded nice, thick and crunchy, but without being muddy. I could actually hear the bass, not all the time, but I heard the bass where it was really needed. I heard the attacks, so I was happy with that. Keyboard doing a nice job filling out the sound with those sustained chords, so giving the guitar and the bass an opportunity to syncopate with the drummer, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Vocally, everything sounded fine, sounded conducive. I wish we had heard a little bit more of the melodic singing. We heard a lot of grit and growl and very little melodic singing. I really wish we could heard more, but that's okay. It still sounded fine. The drumming, one of the highlights for me, one of the two highlights for me actually. One of the big reasons we're ending up in the great range. The drumming on this was phenomenal. The drumming in this was outstanding. That double kick, especially when we would go into those 30-second notes, boy, it was tight. It was super, super clean. Getting in some great syncopation work with the guitar and bass when that would happen. It felt really good. It sounded really good. I got absolutely no issue with anything we heard from the drummer at all. As a matter of fact, I tipped my cap to the drummer, so there it is. It sounded really nice. I really dug everything the drummer did, and he really was a big factor in the next part that was really impressive to me, which would be the usage of time and the usage of meter. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't so much a time signature change. Most of the song was in 4/4. We had that one section where we went into 6/8, but it was like 4/4, 4/4, 4/4, 6/8, 6/8, 6/8, 4/4, 4/4, 4/4. So majority of the song was in 4/4. But here's the thing. Playing with tempo, they did a really nice job on that. And I know people are going to say, well, what about other songs in the past where you've criticized bands for changing feel and changing tempo too frequently? There's the key right there. The last two words, too frequently. They did not do that. They would spend a minimum of about 30 seconds every single time they would change. Minimum. I think the shortest change we had was 30 seconds. Folks, that is more than enough time. That is more than adequate time to be able to get into the new groove and get into the new feel and get into the new tempo and groove to it, okay? My issue is when bands do it too frequently and they only give you 5 seconds and there's no pattern. Like I said during the reaction, if they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and they're changing their feel and their tempo, and they have 4 different patterns and they follow it every time the same way, that's different. There's a pattern you can follow. You can anticipate the time change. You can anticipate the tempo change. You're ready for it because you've heard them do it before. When they're just haphazardly changing from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 1 to 4 to 2 back to 1 to 3 to 1 to 2 to 1 to 4 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 1 to 4 to 2 to 1, and it's just haphazard. That's when I have a problem. That's when I have a huge problem, especially if it's every 5 to 10 seconds. Then it's just ridiculousness. And I am absolutely not a fan of that. That is not what happened here. Were they changing? Yes. Was there a pattern? No, there was no pattern. But they made up for that by staying on the pattern that they were on for at least 30 seconds. More than adequate time to be able to establish the new feel, get into the new groove, and really enjoy it, okay? I had no problem with that. Even when they went into the 6/8 feel, I actually kind of dug that. Especially coming out of the 6/8, when they came out of the 6/8 and back into the 4/4, and the tempo didn't change at all. It was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that felt nice. It really did. I had no issue with that at all. It felt good. It felt solid. It felt smooth. I had no issue with that at all. As far as changing the tempo, like I said, it's still 4/4. Now, there were some times where the feel, it didn't change numerically. It didn't change as far as like half time or straight time or double time. but there were some times where it did kind of take on like a backbeat feel as opposed to a straight ahead feel, you know, on the edge of your seat type of feel. And I got no problem with that. It definitely gave us some diversity, but without taking some things far out into left field that you got lost. You know what I mean? So I had no issue with it. I think that was one of the strongest points of the song. The fact that they were able to do that seamlessly and make all of those time changes feel good. So not easy to do. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's easy. You just change the tempo. Yeah, you could change the tempo and you could end up with an absolute hot mess on your hands. They didn't do that. They had fun with it, yes, and they moved around with it, yes, but it was all conducive to itself. And I got no issue with it whatsoever. So yeah, that's how I was able to come up with a great score of an 8.2. Again, I know this is maybe a little confusing, but an 8.2, it's a great score. It would equate to about an A-, about middle of the road A-. And like I said, 4 stars. It'd be a high 4 stars, but it would be 4 stars. So, in conclusion, 8.2, yes, I feel good about that. It's a great score. It's an A-. It's a 4-star rating. It's an 8.2. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So, 8.2, A-, 4 stars, great score. That's all there is to it. Deal with it. If you can't accept it, I'm sorry. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.